This morning we are headed to Satara and we are driving from Skukuza on the H1-2. The signage can be a bit tricky, but as you leave Skukuza, you turn left and you carry on straight until you turn left again. And where it says the airport sign, you turn right and you're on the H1-2. You can also take the H4-1 and then turn left. But yes, we decided to take the tar road to Tshokwane, the H1-2. As mentioned, the signage can be a little bit confusing simply because you can reach Tshokwane either by the H1-2 or by the H4-1. So Tshokwane left and Tshokwane right. But yes, we took the left one, H1-2. And we had hardly started our journey in the morning when we came across our first sighting, which was a couple of hyenas. And then we saw a couple of additional hyenas, and they were all just lazing about, and maybe it was just part of the hyena clan. And then we saw a couple of warthogs as well, and maybe they just felt a little bit threatened. And then we saw a couple of additional hyenas. And did you know that the hyena calling or the hyena whoop sound or whooping sound can actually travel quite a long distance at night? And of course, the hyenas have quite a complicated social structure in their clan. And yes, they can use their calling to convey messages as well. So yes, we always maybe laugh at the hyena, but certainly a very interesting animal. And as we continued our journey, we saw some more hyenas, but we also saw the landscape changing from the thorn thickets to a more wooded area with, you can see the vegetation starting to become a bit drier. You can just see the difference between the vegetation now and earlier, much drier than on the previous sighting of the hyenas. But certainly it was today a day for the hyenas. And as we neared Tshokwane, we saw an eagle land in the tree. But then we thought we'll take a bit of a break, have a drink, and let's have a look at the Tshokwane picnic site. Tshokwane was originally created as a ranger post by Stevenson Hamilton back in 1928. Tshokwane was actually named after a local Shangaan chief who regaled Stevenson Hamilton with all the old stories about the wars 30 to 40 years earlier. He used Tshokwane as a base station to explore the more northern areas of the now Kruger National Park. Today, Tshokwane Picnic site is a popular stopover about midway between Skukuza and Satara, and it is located next to a river, dry riverbed, and yes, it is a lovely site where you can enjoy some refreshments and just sit back and relax and just watch the wildlife and watch time go past.
I will send you the link. I'm glad I saw you.
And then we were on the road again to Satara on the tar road, the H1-3. And as you can see, it is very dry. The landscape has changed quite dramatically in the last 50 or 60 kilometers. And you can see that there's hardly any real dense, thick thorn bushes anymore. And the landscape is becoming more open, less woodlands, more savanna type of landscape. The road is in pretty good condition and there has been no veld fires. We didn't see any real burnt bush, so the air quality was pretty good, but certainly it was extremely dry. You don't just have to take the H1-3 road from Tshokwane to Satara. You have some different options as well to take some of the other roads. And certainly it can be quite interesting. This is lion territory and you might be surprised at the sightings you have. However, we decided to stick to the tar road this particular day and we just took the main tar road, the H1-3. For more information on the alternative routes from Tshokwane to Satara, have a look at the text file in the video. then a couple of kilometers before Satara, we came across the Tshokwane River, and it appeared like a mirage in the dry conditions. It was absolutely stunning, this green, lush vegetation and the water. We just sat there for quite some time, just enjoying the sounds of the birds and just looking at the water and just appreciating all this miraculous green amongst this dry brown grass. And then we also saw what we think was two black-headed storks. They were just standing in the water, and it looked quite funny for us, but also very, very lovely. And then we were at Satara. It was an extremely hot and sunny day, and our camera was really struggling to take any footage when we entered Satara.